lots of it.
Okay, Grammy.
I like it.
Kelly and Stacy are here visiting. It's April 21st, 2007. About a year after my brother and sister and my cousin interviewed you. I'm a little tardy. I'm here with Stacy, my lovely wife. And we're going to record a little video for generations to come. So what we'll do is we'll take all this video and we'll all of what Lynne did and Jen and Adam did, and we'll splice it all together onto one DVD, like I did with the other movies. And then we'll give everybody a copy of the whole thing. But it looks like they did a pretty good job of interviewing them. We did these notes. I mean, look at these notes, Stace. We typed these up, the outline, and look at everybody, how they beefed up all the questions.
Well,
Can you believe that?
take that cushion off away if it bothers you.
That's fine. Can you believe that? It looks like Lynne and Jen did a lot of that.
They did good, I thought.
Yeah. So when was the last time you went out to see Grandpa's grave? It's been a while.
It's been a while, at least a year.
I think it's probably been 10 years since I've been out there.
Oh my.
He's way out on, it's off of what, the Apache Boulevard?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you remember the name of the cemetery? Yeah, I don't remember
I
either.
know it, but I can't think of it now. If you go down on Main, you hit it.
Down Main Street. It's way down in Maine, way past like Power Road, right? On the north side of the road. I can't remember.
Yeah, on the north.
Wow. So now, what? One of the things I want to try to do one of these days is when Stacy can take a vacation is to go back to go to Sicily and see where Stacy's
Sicily?
grandparents are from. Try to go find a relative, a distant relative, back in Sicily, and do the same thing on my mom's side in Germany, and then try to do the same thing back in Romania, right? You and Grandpa are both from Romania, right?
Have you done your mom yet?
No, I mean we haven't done it, but I thought that would be a fun vacation sometime, is try to go back to each of the countries and try to find a distant relative somewhere and have lunch or something with them. So tell me, so you guys, what year did your parents come over from Romania? Both of them came from Romania, right?
Yes.
What are your parents' names?
Jacob and Rose Ereth.
Jacob and Rose Ereth. And what year did they come over?
Oh dear, I don't know. 1908 or so.
1908 or so?
Yeah, I wouldn't know for sure.
Okay, and then your parents went to Canada, right?
Canada.
1908. And Rose and Jacob Ereth, E-R-E-T-H? Is that right? And let's just make sure we got plenty of volume here. Yeah. So if they came over, and where did they first move to in Canada?
I don't know where they landed, but I know they were in Estevan, and that's where Dad worked in the brick factory.
Dad worked in a brick factory in Estevan.
My dad, yeah.
And this is Jacob.
Yeah.
And then when did you guys, and then you were born on what? What was your birthday again?
I was born in Burtfield, Saskatchewan after Dad worked at the brick factory, and then I don't know what year Mom and Dad were married, but anyway, after they were married, they moved to Saskatchewan, and that's where I was born.
Now, were they married when they came over?
From Europe? No.
Did they meet there and come over, or did they meet here?
No, I don't know. They got married in Canada.
They did. And you don't know if they met in Romania or not?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Say, I'm sorry. Maybe they did get married in Romania.
And then came over.
Yeah.
And what was your mom's maiden name?
Fenrich.
Can you spell that?
Fenrich.
Fenrich. Rose Fenrich. And do you know what town they lived in?
In Romania, they lived in Malkuch.
Molkuch.
Malkuch.
Can you spell that? Do you know how to spell that?
Malcohi, I think it is.
Malcohi.
Moch.
Mochi?
I think it is.
Something like that, in Romania. And they were both, that's where your mom was from?
Yeah,
And
both of them.
Both of them were from that town. And so Jacob Ereth and Rose Fenrich. Is that right? Do I have that right? And they're from Malcoy.
Malkuch.
Malkuch, Romania.
Romania.
And why did they leave?
I know Dad left Europe. There's where I'm mixed up again. He left Europe, he and 2 or 3 other young men, to get out of the service, out of the army.
Okay.
Yes. So evidently they weren't married.
They weren't married. You don't know. Okay.
You know, folks never talked about it. They
Yeah.
just never talked about it. So that's why I don't know.
Now, what was your mom's parents' names?
What was their
What were your grandparents' names on your mom's side?
On my mother's side, well, we lived in Canada and they lived about 1 mile north of us. And they had a nice big home.
And so your mom's parents came over too?
From Romania?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yes.
And what were your mom's parents' names or your grandparents?
Fenrich, John and Magdalene Fenrick.
John and Magdalene Fenrick. So they came over and they moved. Do you remember seeing them when you were a kid?
Oh, yes. I used to go over to their place a couple, 2, 3 times a week, just walk over there.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's
was real
nice.
close from.
Oh. So.
My grandmother was a midwife.
Was a midwife. And what did your grandfather do?
He was a farmer.
Farmer. So your dad worked in the brick factory.
In Estevan, when they lived in Estevan.
When they lived in Estevan, okay. And then when they moved to, Saskatchewan, do I have that right?
Saskatchewan, Estevan is in Saskatchewan, but Estevan they lived in town.
Oh, when they lived in town.
And then they heard about this land that they could get. I don't know how much it is, 300 acres or whatever it was they could get if they build a house on it and lived in it 1 year. They got it free.
Oh, they homesteaded it.
Yes.
They homesteaded it. Okay. So then your mother Rose Fenrich, her parents, John and Madeleine Fenrich, also lived very close to you. And did your mother have any brothers and sisters?
Yes. She had 2 sisters and about 3 brothers, I think.
2 sisters and 3 brothers, and were they all in Canada?
Yes.
So these would be your aunts and uncles.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever maintain any contact with them?
Oh, yes, I knew them all.
Do you know their names?
She also had a stepsister.
She had a stepsister.
Mother had a stepsister. Grandpa was married twice. He was married once before he married my grandmother.
Oh, I see. I see. So, do you know what your aunts and uncles' names are?
Yeah.
On your mother's side.
Tony, Jacob, Peter, and the sisters were Clara and Mom. And then there was a stepsister. I think her name was Catherine, but no, her name was Fanny. She lived in Estevan or someplace up there.
In Estevan. Okay. Okay, so that's on your mom's side. So your mom's parents lived close to you, and then all your mom's brothers and sisters, or your aunts and uncles, also lived up in Canada also? None of them were left in Romania?
Well, no. One of the boys, Pete Fenwick, he moved to California when his family was, still young.
Oh, he did. Mm-hmm. But none of them were back in Europe. They were all in Canada or in the U.S.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were must have been born in Europe. I don't know.
So, it would either be Ereth or Fenwick.
With a what?
Ereth or Fenwick family back in Romania somewhere.
Either one.
Yeah, either one there still might be some So now did your...
Ereth was spelled different then. It was spelled E-H-R-E-T. But when the folks made their immigration, they made a mistake. Somebody made a mistake.
Oh.
And then when they were going to correct it, they said, just leave it the way it is. You won't get any trouble then.
Oh, okay. So they messed the name up. Okay, so now did your grandparents, boy, this may be stretching it, but do you know if your grandparents either had any brothers and sisters back in Romania?
That I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea.
Okay, so this is on your mom's side. Boy, that would be tough if all of Grandma's aunts and uncles were all in the U.S. So you'd have to go back and find a grandparent's sibling, some descendants of the grandparent's sibling back
Oh,
there.
this has been so long ago. I doubt it if you could.
I mean, they all may have moved out of the town by now, right, or something. Okay, so that's on your mom's side. Now on your dad's side, Jacob Ereth, did his parents stay in Romania?
Yes, they never came. But in the later years, maybe in the 60s, I can't remember, two of his brothers came and landed in Denver.
Oh.
Denver, Colorado. Joseph and Stephen, their names were.
Did you ever visit them?
Oh yes, several times.
So this is your dad. Now how many brothers and sisters did your dad have?
Lots of them.
Okay, do you remember any of the names? Okay. So your dad had lots of brothers and sisters. All of them stayed in Romania except for two of them in the 60s came over.
I think around in the 60s.
Okay, and then when did they pass away? Do you know?
I don't know when
Yeah.
they passed away.
Did they have families here?
Yes.
They did. And they're both
In Denver.
in Denver, and their last name was Ereth also?
Yeah, they spell it E-H-R-E-T.
And that's how they came over in the 60s is with that last name.
Yeah.
And what was their name again? Their names again?
Stephen and Joseph.
Stephen Ereth and Joseph Ereth. Did they bring wives over?
Yes, and
Right.
families.
And family. And how did they get out of Romania and come over here? Because it was, you don't remember, maybe you don't remember.
That I wouldn't know.
So somehow or another they immigrated over.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know what your Jacob Ereth's Any of Jacob Ereth's other brothers and sisters' names at all?
No,
Okay.
no.
What were his parents' names?
Jacob and Julia.
Jacob and Julia Ereth. Is that right?
Juliana.
Juliana Ereth. E-R-E...
E-H-R-E-T.
E-H-E-R-E-T. Okay. And what was... And they stayed in Romania? Your Jacob's parents stayed in Romania. That's right? And what town were they from?
Malkoch.
Oh, the same town. Same town. Do you know how... Did anybody ever tell you anything about Molkuch? How big it is? No idea?
I have no idea.
Boy, I wish I had a map. World Atlas would be kind of cool right now. Okay, so Jacob's family stayed, and it's Jacob and Juliana Ereth. And Juliana's maiden name was...
I would not know.
Wouldn't know.
That's
Okay.
going back.
Okay. So your father, presumably, you had some aunts and uncles. They had lots
yes.
of children
Oh, yes.
that were in Romania.
They had a big family.
They had a big family back in Romania.
In fact, I got a picture someplace of their home.
Oh, really?
It's a long... Yeah,
That would be pretty cool to see.
I'll show it to
Now,
you sometime.
do you have any documents anywhere that would, or anything that would show you any sort of addresses or locations that your families might have lived back in Romania?
Mm-mm.
No documents, nothing, huh?
No,
Nothing that would ring a bell. Any other family member that might know?
no, my brothers and sisters, the older ones are all gone. So,
Yeah. So you gave me a family history that I have at home. That I have to be honest with you, I haven't looked. I've looked at it, but I haven't really read it real close.
Yeah.
So that has all of these names that we've been talking about.
yes, but if it's the name of all my uncles and aunts are in there, I don't know.
Do you have a copy here?
Yeah,
Here, let me turn the tape off. Can you tell me where it is and I'll grab it?
no,